Good evening or good morning or good afternoon, whenever it is you're watching this. Today I'll tell you a bit more about the English verb tenses. I'll try to explain in just a few minutes how English tenses work, how we construct them. So each tense, and when I say tense, I mean present perfect, simple, or future progressive, or the past progressive and past simple. So each of these verb tenses consists of two parts. The first part, when we say the present or the past, this tells us about the time. It's the time when the action takes place, right? Or the time when the action is relevant. It simply locates the action in time. We start from now, that's obvious, and then from now we either move back into the past or forward into the future. So any tense which has present in the name is going on now, and so on. Right. So far, easy enough. This is pretty much similar to Croatian, actually not much different at all. However, what follows is more complex, and this is what actually gives English all those tenses that we don't have in Croatian. We call this the aspect, and the aspect doesn't position the action in time, it tells us how we see the action. So we call this the fabric of time, how the action is built, or actually how it is perceived to be built. Right, so we've got the distinction here between the simple and the progressive tenses. Simple tenses view the action as one whole, as a complete action. We see the beginning and the end. It tells us about the action as happening in a single block of time. For example, yesterday I went to school. So we have everything from me leaving home to me coming to school, including everything that happened in the meantime. On the other hand, we've got progressive or continuous tenses, which are called like that because they describe action in progress, or they show us the action as happening in a continuous flow of time. I'll give an example. Yesterday I was going to school when I heard something. So I was going to school. This action was at that time in progress. We are not looking at the beginning of the action. We're not looking at the end of the action. We are looking at the action as already going to the middle of the action, in medias res. Okay. Now, another distinction is between actions which are isolated, so single actions, and actions which are repeated, repetitive actions. They have one after another after another. What's interesting here is that both simple and progressive tenses can have the meaning of one single action and repetitive actions. So we're not going to dwell too much here, but I'll just give you an example. The last year I went to school once, and last year I went to school every day. Right? Get a difference. Simple tense shows both. Can express both the isolated and the repetitive action. Progressive tenses can do the same. So I've been playing football for 10 years, right? Actually, I have been playing it for 10 years. I played once and once again and once again and so on. But when you say I've been playing football for half an hour, you might as well not have stopped for this half an hour, right? Okay, and now what might be the most challenging for people, for learners, Croatian learners of English, is when we put perfect into the picture. Perfect tenses. Tenses which don't have perfect in the name, we here focus on the time when the action takes place. So if it's the present simple, then the action takes place in present, right? And when it's past progressive, the action took place in the past. But when we have perfect in the name, then we focus on the time when the action is relevant, and not the time when the action took place. So it's called the present perfect. Present is when the action is relevant. Actually, in other words, now is when the action matters, when it's important, and the whole thing happened actually in the past, partly or completely. Now I'll give you an example of how it functions. With the past perfect progressive, we have past in the name, telling us that the action took place before now, or at least that the focus of the action is on the past. Now we have the progressive, which shows that the action is viewed either as a repetitive action, several actions going on one after another, or one continuous flow of time. And last but not least, the perfect in the name, which shows us that it is actually the past when we focus on, because the action was here relevant, it mattered, it was important, but by the time the action was already finished. So the action happened before that time in the past that we're talking about. This should remind you of creation pluperfect, plusquamperfect. Alright? So an example. The students had already been writing for half an hour when the teacher realized he had given them a wrong test. So at the moment we are focusing on, this is the moment when teacher realizes his mistake, the action of writing, of taking the test, of doing the test, had been going on for half an hour. Right, another homework. Try to explain the present perfect simple in these terms, and then the past simple. Make notes, as I'll be checking your notebooks. Cheers!